A gamer, you see?
Way too. You know, with all this Xbox stuff that's been going on as of late and how these suckers is getting slandered left and right and they can do no right now, there is a bigger issue I feel like that has been going on in gaming for years now that I feel like more companies than just Xbox suffers from. And honestly, this has been one of the biggest issues I feel like in modern day gaming. I feel like this can almost kind of be tied into why E3 doesn't really seem like it exists no more and it was starting to die out after a while. And that is the early announcements and reveals for these games. This junk really needs to stop. And I feel like Xbox is really kind of having you know, their issue with this, because all of these games that, you know, they've acquired and, you know, studios that they bought out and games that they supposed to be having, we don't know when these junks is supposed to come out. But a lot of companies used to do this over the years. How many times, especially during E3, did, you know, for something like E3 to where we would tune in expecting greatness year after year after year, and these freaking companies and devs like, all right, we have to show something big, you know. So they would then show a game and that junk wouldn't come out until 3, 4, 5, 6, hell, even sometimes 8 years later. Didn't Cyberpunk get a reveal like in 2012 and it came out 8 years later in 2020? With Last of Us 2, I think that game was revealed in like late 2016. Didn't come out until 2020. Like, a lot of companies and devs were doing this over the years, and it always led to disappointment. These suckers would come out and show us a game that at the time looked incredible, you know, and we would be like, oh my gosh, yo, when this game comes out, I'm buying this junk day one. This junk is gonna change gaming. Only for it to be followed with delay after delay after delay after delay after delay, combined with the long Twitter message from insert dev here, you know, of why the game is being delayed. And like, when stuff like that happens, it's always like the dev can never really win, because it's like, if you delay the game, suckers is disappointed. If you don't delay the game and it comes out like Cyberpunk, you know, or Redfall or freaking Jedi Survivor, and it has issues, then suckers is like, yo, they really released the game like this? You couldn't delay the game? You couldn't delay the game? It ends up putting pressure on not only the developers, but the publishers and the companies to be like, okay, we have to have this game out in a certain time frame. You know, suckers are starting to get impatient after like the second delay, you know, and we don't want people to lose interest in this game. Let's just put it out now and, you know, we'll fix it later. We'll fix it later. No side wins from that. We end up being disappointed because a game that we was really looking forward to has like 2, 3, 4, 5 delays now. The devs end up trying to rush to finish the game because it's like, oh, this game was supposed to drop 2 years ago. And it's like, everybody loses. It's all messed up, and it's all because these suckers are showing these games too early. And this is way more than just Xbox. This is something that has plagued gaming as a whole throughout the years. And then that leads me into Sony, because you've seen and heard, I'm sure, over the years, hell, I've said it sometimes over the years, that Sony has changed. You know, Sony ain't as hungry as they used to be. Oh, all they do now is just sit back, relax, and show stuff whenever they feel like. And part of that's true, right? I mean, yeah, that is what Sony does today, but it's not like they got Xbox pressuring these suckers. Yeah, that is what they do. Hell, that's what Rockstar does. Like Rockstar, they really don't say nothing. They don't say nothing either. They just, you know, show a trailer whenever they feel like it and go back to their freaking dungeon until they're ready to drop a game. Even with Naughty Dog, we still waiting for Factions 2. 3 years after Last of Us 2 has already dropped, and all we've gotten so far is essentially concept art. So even though this junk is frustrating, another side of me is like, with all the stuff that I just said, can you blame them? Every time these developers show a game too early, especially if it's gameplay, unless that junk is like, mwah, and it's like, oh my god, this junk looks incredible. Look, like, suckers will critique that game immediately. Look at what's going on with Rocksteady. Suckers swore that Rocksteady was one of the best devs in the freaking game just based off of the Batman games. They showed the Suicide Squad gameplay maybe a little bit too early. Maybe a little bit too early. Suckers is already saying, oh yeah, this junk a flop before the game even freaking drops. Remember last year when I think that a GTA 6 leak had happened and somehow people got, you know, their hands on like screenshots and like a very early build of like the game, and suckers was trying to like nitpick that and saying, oh, this is a junk donor looker next gen. It was a freaking early build of GTA 6 and suckers was trying to critique that. Like, that's why, even though again it gets frustrating, I can't even blame the likes of Sony and Rockstar and Insomniac when they just sit back and we don't know what's going on from them. They're just being quiet for the most part, not saying a word, because unless you come out and your game looks like a freaking masterpiece, damn near, like it never ends up working well for you. And if I wanted to go even deeper than that, a lot of developers, not all, but a lot of them are all trying to put out this blockbuster AAA title. You see so many devs today try to go for that AAA game that has a vast open world experience, you know, that they can stretch making money off of that said game for the next few years. You see a whole bunch of microtransactions in games today, the battle passes, the skins, all that stuff that comes with that. But you have a lot of devs that I feel like there's no middle ground no more. You are either an indie title or you're a AAA title. There is no, like, there is no B or C title no more like there used to be back in like the PS2, Xbox, GameCube. Hell, even going to the PS3 and Xbox 360 era. It was fine for a dev to put out, you know, like a cool B title or a cool C title. That game get like a 78 or, you know, max 84, 85, and suckers is completely fine with that and will play the game. Every single developer is trying to have maximum profits. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, it is a business, you know, at the end of the day. So these suckers is trying to make money, but that's another thing that I really feel like has hurt gaming. Every single dev is trying to maximize their profits, go for this AAA blockbuster title. And when these suckers come out and they fall flat on their face because you're not Rockstar, you're not Insomniac, you're not Naughty Dog, you're not Santa Monica, like, not every single developer is capable. I mean, let's just be real of like making AAA blockbuster titles. And I feel like that is something to where we have gotten in gaming. There are way too many devs thinking that they are better than they actually are. Like, Ubisoft is probably one of the main cases of this. Ubisoft swore at one point every game they put out had to be open world. They come out with all these overly ambitious projects that when they finally get into actually developing the game, they're like, maybe we kind of, you know, overstood our boundaries a little bit and what we was actually capable of doing. Maybe this junk gonna be harder than we thought. And you see so many games out here today that kind of give you that feeling like, man, this game would have been way more better if they just kind of was a linear title. Man, this game would have been so much better if they just, you know, kind of stopped trying to do all this stuff and made it more simple. You see so many games like that. So it's like almost like a freaking tree that's like, you know, they're doing this so it affects this route. They're making it like this so it affects this aspect of gaming. And it's like a trickle down effect that I feel like you're really starting to see in gaming. But with the main thing being, a lot of these games are shown too soon. They are not ready to drop these games when they show them off. And you have situations like this with Xbox where they don't have nothing else to fall back on. Like, these suckers is cooked. They have nothing, and you have nothing but a whole bunch of promises essentially that you've made over the years. How, oh, we're going to do better with gaming, and we're going to have this game, and we're going to have this game, and we don't know when these games is dropping. What do you guys feel about, you know, games being announced and revealed to us too early? Do you feel like it's a good thing? Do you feel like it's a bad thing? You know, how do you feel like it ends up working out for us and, you know, for the devs in the long run? Leave all your thoughts and comments down in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until the next video, my brothers and sisters, I'll catch you boys in my next one. All right.